Blog Talk Radio.
Broadcasting and streaming live from the center of the universe over the Blog Talk Radio Network, out of that ill state in the city of the wind. Whether you need a deeper love, chopping it up in the barbershop, or crossing over a bridge on the soul train, come on in, join the party with your boy, the Blog Talk Radio King, Drew Pillow.
Station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
9933777 Radio.
This is the journey into sound.
Broadcasting live from the 937 in the great Midwest United States is Drew Pillow Radio, bringing to you for your listening pleasure. 937 is on deck, it's in the house. We locked and loaded, and we ready to kick it all the way. All right, so we have chapter 1 of this book of perfection. It's closed and sealed, but you can always come back and listen tomorrow. We'll be available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blog Talk Radio app, DrewPillowRadio.com, and the Blog Talk Radio website, as well as Facebook and whichever other places are streaming our show tonight. So now let's go directly into round 2. Round 2 of tonight's trifecta of excellence in musical talent, right? Musical talent, because that's what these artists all have in common, is that they have a connection to music in the music industry. Let's see who we have next ready to go. I think we have, let's check out, 478-390. 478-390. Who's that on the switchboard line?
Hey, Mr. Buckholz.
Hey, Mr. Buckholz.
What's up, man?
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time out to. Actually, I appreciate you agreeing to do this show. And when you agreed to do the show,
you said that like you said that like there's something wrong.
No, it's just that I feel like had I known who I was talking to when I asked, I would have used sir a lot more. Maybe
hey, man.
Your Majesties, you know
all
what I
right,
mean?
Man. Oh, man. See why you got to go there, man? Why you got to do that?
It's just a respect thing, man. I mean, we're right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of a legend. This guy, like I said at the onset of the show, multi-platinum music producer, multi-platinum. You know what I mean? If we can get platinum one time, we're doing fine. But to be multi-platinum, everybody cannot boast that among their credentials, and your list of credentials just goes on and on. You have quite a history in the music industry. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Wow. Well, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it, and yes, I am quite busy, but the history is. Let's start with the simple history. I actually got my start in the business with, I think everybody might know who this is, MC Hammer. And how that started, yeah, I think so. And how that started is really simple. I joined the military out of high school. I was too young to join. I was 17, and my parents had to basically sign a waiver to let me go. And so I joined at 17, and I was immediately sent to California. And then after being sent to California, I was immediately sent overseas on a deployment. And so with that short period of time, I really didn't get a chance to meet everybody in my squadron. But going overseas to Japan, I had an opportunity to do that. And one of the ways is that you're put in the barracks in tight quarters, and everybody's kind of doubled up, to save space. And my roommate, when I was 18 years old, was a guy by the name of Stanley Burrell. And his nickname was Hammer because when he was younger, they called him Little Hammer. He looked a lot like Hammer and Hank Aaron, the baseball player. So I was roommates with Hammer in the military, 18 years old. That's the first time I had any exposure to even thinking I was going to be in the music business. And I'd always been a musician. I was a multi-instrumentalist when I was a kid. Started playing instruments around, 7 years old. So I'd been playing for years. And so I just brought that to the military.
So you met MC Hammer. Wait a second, I got a bad echo here. Hold on. Unecho. So you met MC Hammer in the military before he was even MC Hammer.
Yeah, before he put the MC on Hammer, I was roommates with Hammer in the military, and I was always playing music. And one of the ways that we became close with the music is he used to go out and used to dance all the time. He used to go to the NCO clubs and used to just tear it up, and people would just talk about him all the time. Man, this kid can dance, man. And me, I used to just sit in the room and play my instruments. That was my thing. I had all these instruments, and I used to just play them all the time. And he was always fascinated by that. Like, wow, you playing all these instruments, man. How you do that? So that's kind of how we bonded. He did the dancing, and he was the dance guy, and I was the music guy. And that we just maintained that through the time that, we got into the business itself.
So you eventually went on to become, he went on to become MC Hammer, and you went on to become his songwriter producer. It sounds kind of simple, but I purposely wanted to get as much knowledge about the industry as I possibly could. Yes, he said, hey, man, he called me up one day and said, hey, man, I got this record deal. I want you to come along. And I had all these reservations because I felt like I wasn't, up to professional standard musician. But he was like, hey, man, come on, you got this. And I said, no, I want to start off, doing some of the basic stuff. So I literally started off doing lighting, stage setup, sound setup. And here's the crazy part about it. The groups, while we were on tour, that I was doing stage lighting for and sound setup and stage setup were groups like Guy, Heavy D. These are the kind of groups that I was working with, like doing their stuff for them. And so I actually had an opportunity to learn a lot about what goes on behind the scenes before I actually stepped up to the job of producer. And I think that helped me quite a bit. I was happy to be in that, have that kind of background before I actually started doing music production. But that's kind of how it happened. And all while I was with that kind of background, that kind of background is somebody else's career. You know what I mean? You do that is that's it. I can die now. I'm working with Guy and Heavy D. I'm there.
Right,
but for you, that's just the back.
Come on, right?
Yeah, I promise I was listening to some old Blackstreet before the show started. Because that is the music. That's the soundtrack of my life, And for you, that was just the beginning, because you went on with Hammer to experience multi-platinum record-breaking success with albums like. Go ahead.
I'm with you, man. I'm listening to you, and it's almost still hard. I have to pinch myself constantly because it's still hard to believe. But those things were happening and I was just simply thinking I had to keep working while all this exciting stuff was going on, and awards were happening and records were being broken. I just felt like I had to just do my job. I was more concerned about making sure that I kept doing good work, and that's really why I felt privileged to be a part of anything that had to do with that success. The songwriter of a lot of the music, James J.E. Early, who did music for E40 and some other people now, who's also a multi-platinum guy, worked for Hammer. We were all totally musicians. I mean, I know a lot of people looked at what he did with hip-hop and, part of that genre. But we were musicians. We played instruments. We played bass guitars and keyboards and, guitars, and we used our expertise and skill sets to make sure that Hammer had, quality stuff that people could dance to. And that was our job. I really felt that was it. And when he gave me an opportunity to, produce on the Too Legit to Quit album, oh my goodness. I mean, that, and even the critics have said that was critically one of its best albums. Did it do what the first one did? No, it's the same thing that happened to Michael Jackson. You can't, when you got something that's that big, there's, no matching that. But I was happy to be a part. Yeah.
It's hard to duplicate perfection,
Yes.
But I'm hearing,
I was happy to be a part of that.
What I'm hearing is that you were a very instrumental part of the process that enabled him to just get up there and shine, because, we know his lyrics and we know that he had the dance moves, but the sound and the total packaging of it is what kind of distinguished it from something that's just, a flash in the pan or something that's just good into a place where it's multi-platinum and breaking records.
Well, like I said, I mean, I still to this day, I mean, yes, I mean, all of those accolades, when you work hard, you earn them, and it's right to say, yes, I am a multi-platinum record producer and I had something to do with that. But people like Felton Pilot, who was the co-owner of Confunction, he was the lead singing guy in Confunction. He was like like if there's a lead singer that really did arrangement and songwriting and production, he was the guy. And he was instrumental in making a lot of the hit songs for Confunction. James J.E. Early, who was another instrumental part. I felt like I was part of a massively just dedicated songwriting machine, that helped turn out all of these things. And I wrote songs for other groups that were part of Hammer's, record label, imprint. And that was a privilege for me, too, because I was given certain, projects to, hey, you can work this project, you can work that project. And so, and then to write songs for him, too, a song for him, too, was fascinatingly wonderful. To work on songs on his albums was a great thing and a great experience. But I tell you what, man, I'm thankful every day that I've had the opportunity. And I'm still busy doing other things, but, it's doing that work that is the springboard for me to do all the other things I'm doing now. Okay. I got to be multitask. I have to multitask. I can't just listen to you. I got to be listening to you and get the next question ready. And that's hard to do because like I said, when I met you, or when I was introduced to you, I'd had no idea. And even doing the research, I still I didn't know about these other connections, and this is, you're one of the most interesting guests that that I've had. So you're on my resume now.
You are on my resume.
Well, I appreciate it, and we'll stay in touch, man, because I'm going to have a lot of things going on, and I'd like to, have this outlet and be able to, have a relationship with you and have this outlet be one of the main ones that, kind of let people know what's going on. I think it's important that we reach out in every possible way when we have any kind of opportunity to help other people or a circumstance where maybe, you've done things and have certain connections and you can be of some help to other people in some way. I think it's a really good thing. So, no. Look, I often get that there's so many things that I've been a part of and been able to do. But, I just pinch myself every day that I even had the opportunity to do that. I mean, who can say they've been on Oprah? Who can say that they've been on the Arsenio Hall show? Wow, and he's come back, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Grammys, the MTV video, AMAs. I just had the best time in the world, and I'm not going to tell people that I didn't. It was great, and Hammer and I were still buds because of the military thing for sure. But we're always looking out for each other in lots of ways, and I'm always excited about new things that he's doing too.
Well, you know what? Your gratitude, it's a beautiful quality. It's a beautiful quality. It's the essence of a beautiful person, and you have a lot of humility. Really humble guy. I mean, for everything that you've accomplished and experienced, I'm pinching myself because I'm talking to you. And but you know what? You're also involved with some other projects that are also very important, and also the mark of a beautiful person. Can you tell us a little bit about you're a self-published author and you're a founder of a nonprofit organization?
Yes. We'll start with the book. The name of the book is Autism is My Universe. It is available out there. You can just go to Amazon.com, type in the title, Autism is My Universe, and it will pop up. And you can purchase that any time. I wrote that book mainly because I was learning about autism through my own family and personal experience. Apparently, the 10 years that I was out in California, I met some people out there, became good friends with he and his wife. And one day I went back out there to visit to take care of some business. They said, "Hey, man, hang out with us, stay with us, and, we'll take care of you, and you can get done what you need to get done and hit back out east." So I stayed with them for a while, and before I left, they said to me, "Michael, we've known you for 10 years, and just recently we've come across some information that we think you need to take a look at." And they had all these newspaper clippings of autism and Asperger's syndrome, which is the high-functioning form of that autism. People like, Einstein and Bill Gates, they say, has that. And so I'm looking at this paperwork, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And they said, "Michael, we think this is you." And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I look at it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I go back east, and I hand all these newspaper clippings and information to my mom. And I said, "This might be something of interest to you. I don't know if it is or not, but this is what these people said I was like." My mom took a look at that information, and she nearly lost it. Drew, she saw that information and said, "Oh, my goodness, this is you guys. I have been raising autistic children this entire time." And so it was an awakening for our family. My mom really started to recognize that this is what was happening. She was like, "I was trying to figure out why you guys, seemed emotionless during certain parts of your lives and, this and that." And, there were just certain things about our responses to regular, things around us that was not normal. And we were often bullied. I know I was. Often made fun of, always called the geek and the this and the that. And I never really knew why I felt personally like I was out of place, like I just didn't even belong here. I often used to say to myself, I felt like I was in the wrong time period, like I needed to be back during a time where things were simpler and, you know, when people were riding horses, you know, versus now. And so I really felt like I just didn't belong in the modern world. And what wound up happening was after I started to take a closer look at this, I did realize I had some of that going on. And then I took steps to get some real testing done. And so actually I officially got tested when I was like about 43 years old, officially tested for autism. And guess what? After 8 months worth of testing, I actually have an official, authentic diagnosis of high-functioning autism Asperger's. So I was that kid growing up. I was that kid that people bullied and people messed with and said that you're weird and strange and what's wrong with you. And I was that kid. And I just grew up. And here's the cool thing, Drew. All of that I had going on, that whole autism Asperger's thing, it actually was the thing that helped me to become a musician. It was the thing that helped me to get to that level because my sense of duty to work, my dedication to being focused was so strong that I could focus on anything, and I could focus like a laser on it. And that kind of dedication to the work that I was doing allowed me to perform it at a high level, you know? And so I would perform at high levels, and I'd be in the studio for 30 hours, and people would be like, man, are you going to go to sleep? I'm like, no, I got to finish this stuff. I got to finish the mixes. I got to finish the, you know, so I was always working at a high level when everybody else was worn out, ready to go home, you know, drunk, passed out, whatever. I was just focused. You know, I had no vices. My vice was the music. I had to get it done, and it had to be perfect. You know, I had to have it.
But you actually, your story is it's almost like the makings of a Disney movie. You know,
I've had people tell me that, and on Disney,
the underdog,
listening to Drew Pillow, come on, give a brother a shout.
Super underdog goes on to make it huge. And then brings the awareness to the world, because I believe, you know, society is really misinformed and has a great misunderstanding of what autism is all about. And people like you are very important in terms of there's my echo. Are really important in terms of raising the awareness. I think we will need to maybe we can schedule you to come back and we can put more emphasis on that aspect of your story before, because this show is like packed, and with short time for some silly reason. I think.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will leave you with this. I have a performance that's happening on the 12th of December. It's going to be 12/12/12, and you can get tickets at event. Oh, I want to. Okay, let me see. Quick here. Here it is. You can get tickets to it at Eventbrite. That's EVENTBRITE.com. Eventbrite.com. You can purchase tickets, but it's going to be held in Lithonia, Georgia, at the Executive Hill Mansion. I'm going to be talking about the book. I'll be talking about my story, and I'm going to do a performance. It's something I've not done before because I'm not a live performing artist, but I'm actually going to perform a song I've written, a few songs I've written, I think, and give people something that they can take home with, and it is to benefit the nonprofit that I've started, which is called Aid for Autistic Children Foundation. It helps families financially to bounce back from the basically a tightening grip of the cost of raising their children, and also autistic adults who are trying to live that expensive life of being autistic, because the things you have to do for yourself can be quite demanding. So that's what this is for. It's December 12th 2012, 12.
Eventbrite.
You can go to eventbrite.com, man. There it is. I think we squeezed it in.
and what I'll do is I'll communicate with you and get the details so I can update my website, drewpillowradio.com, and you can go right there, and it'll all be in writing, and then you have no excuse to say you didn't know. Or you can tune in and listen to this show once again tomorrow and play it back really slow. I appreciate you, Michael, and I have a parting gift for you as well. Are you ready for this?
What? Oh, my goodness.
Okay, listen closely.
Hello, Michael. I want to play a game.
Sorry, there was something stuck in my throat there. Mr. B, a huge hello from the UK. Sorry we can't be with you right now, but it'll be 5 a.m. in the morning for us, and you all know what we're like at 5:30. You know, definitely not public viewing material. But anyway, we hope you're well. Hope you're having a great time. We really miss you, and hope to see you really soon. Maybe next year in Canada, maybe Georgia. Who knows? See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
And remember, she's got your personal
Oh,
number.
my goodness.
There you go. There you go. We had a...
That is my man. That's my man Scott James from X Factor. I mean, this is crazy. Wow.
Yeah, he kind of caught up with me and asked me to, he pulled a favor. And I said, sure, I'll be happy to do that. So...
Scott James. Oh, man, how famous is he? Okay, now he's the famous one.
Worldwide. He might be on next week's show. I want to say thank you. 30 minutes is not enough, and from the way things sound, 30 hours probably wouldn't be enough to really capture, what you're all about. But I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to try to just, give the audience just a little bit of you, and I absolutely invite you to check your schedule, and let's see if we can bring you back on for an extended visit.
Taylor Keith, Monarch Group, my management, we will keep you posted, man, and keep you on our Rolodex, man. Thank you.
All right, we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Buchholz. Buchholz. That's a name right there. I love it. Love it, and I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Clap, everybody. All righty then. That's enough. Thank you. All righty then.